House Republicans had more than enough members to pass the Obamacare repeal and replace bill, but once again, the House Freedom Caucus of hardline conservatives bucked its leaders, in this case, President Trump and Speaker Ryan, to block a major GOP initiative. Joining me now, Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio, a founding member of the group. Congressman, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Good to be with you.
So Paul Ryan and Nancy Pelosi agreed on one thing Friday. Both said here is the bottom line on the defeat of Obamacare repeal and replace. Here it is.
Obamacare is the law of the land. It's going to remain the law of the land until it's replaced. We did not have quite the votes to replace this law. And so, yeah, we're going to be living with Obamacare for the foreseeable future.
It's pretty exciting for us. Yesterday, our anniversary. Today, a victory for the Affordable Care Act, more importantly, for the American people.
We'll be living with Obamacare for the foreseeable future. Isn't that on you and your fellow members of the Freedom Caucus?
Chris, in the last segment, I think you blamed the Freedom Caucus, or people blame the Freedom Caucus, the Heritage Foundation, the Club for Growth.
That's the President's Trump.
Blame the Speaker of the House, and even people are blaming the very guest you had on before, Reince Priebus. Instead of doing the blame game, let's get to work. Let's do the responsible thing. Let's get back to work and do what we told the voters we were going to do. Remember this bill? 17% of the country approved this bill. Maybe the fact that we opposed it, we did the country a favor because this bill didn't repeal Obamacare. This bill didn't do what we told the American people we were going to do. So let's be responsible. Let's get back to work and do what we told the American people we were going to accomplish, which is repeal Obamacare and replace it with a patient-centered health care program.
And here's the concern of the president and Ryan and a number of other people. There were a number of conservative provisions in this bill, and I want to put some of them up on the screen. Here's just a few. First major reform of Medicaid ever. Repeal individual and employer mandates. Defund Planned Parenthood. Now, in large part, due to the opposition of you and other members of the Freedom Caucus, all of that goes away.
But you're forgetting the overall legislation. Even did the bill repeal Obamacare? No. Even Krauthammer said it didn't. It was Obama. He called it Obamacare light, not me. So it didn't repeal Obamacare. Did it bring down premiums? No. Even the CBO said premiums are going to continue to rise for the foreseeable future for at least 3 years. And
then it goes down.
Yeah, and did it unite the Republican Party? Of course it didn't. We saw every major conservative organization in the country oppose this. You saw conservatives and, frankly, moderates in the House and Senate oppose this legislation. So it didn't unite our party. So why didn't we just do, there's been talk about moving the goalposts. You know when the goalposts were moved? When they didn't start with the legislation we all voted for 15 months ago. The same bill I introduced 2 weeks ago, which said let's do clean repeal in one piece of legislation, and then let's do a separate piece of legislation to replace Obamacare with patient-centered health care.
Okay, but wait. Let's talk about this question of clean repeal. If you had done that, and you could have done it under reconciliation, there'd be no...
And we did it 15 months ago, Chris.
There would be no subsidies to help people buy insurance or pay for their premiums or deductibles. There would be no expanded Medicaid. Let me finish. There'd be no expanded Medicaid to help those people. The result of a clean repeal is that millions of people who currently have health insurance coverage wouldn't.
No, the result of a clean repeal is we get rid of Obamacare.
Right, but that has the subsidies and it has the expanded Medicaid.
And it was a two-year wind down, and then you replace it with things that are going to bring back affordable insurance. Again, this is the left.
The flaw with that is that to get that through, you're going to need Democratic votes.
Well, we were going to need Democrat votes for this plan.
No, you weren't.
Phase 2 and Phase 3.
I understand, but not for the repeal and replace.
We had 2 to ours, and ours was actually consistent with what we told the American people we were going to accomplish. Would you agree that clean repeal would have left millions of people without health insurance? There was nothing that said you couldn't start with our clean repeal bill and also put in some other things that would help. But the focus is we want to bring back affordable insurance. The left always defines success as signing people up for Obamacare, signing people up for Medicaid. Conservatives say, no, a better approach is let's get back to market-oriented health care. Let's bring down the cost of premiums so that middle-class people will be able to afford a plan in the private sector that actually fits their family's needs, not some one-size-fits-all mandate from Washington. That's the difference, and that's what our plan would have accomplished.
The rap on the Freedom Caucus is that you refuse to take yes for an answer. The president met, I don't know if were you in the meeting on Thursday?
Yes.
So one of the things that you guys were demanding was you wanted the essential health benefits removed. And the president agreed to remove a number of the essential health benefits, mandates on what has to be in coverage, things like maternity care and mental health coverage. And you pocketed that, and then you said, no, we need more. We need you to remove the protection for people with pre-existing conditions.
We were consistent all along, and that narrative is just not accurate. We were consistent all along. We want those regulations and mandates placed on that industry that drove up the cost of insurance. We want those to go so that premiums actually come down.
Wait a minute. So you want people who have pre-existing conditions to no longer have protection?
No, we were talking about community rating, guaranteed issue. We wanted those provisions in those age bands, in those groups. We wanted those things removed so that you would actually bring down premiums. That's what's driving up the cost. Of course you bring down premiums. If you only insure healthy people, you're going to have really low premiums. My point is, one of the things that you guys wanted was to you wanted them to remove the provision that would protect people, would require insurance companies to insure people with pre-existing conditions. We wanted to remove the regulations that drive up the cost of insurance for middle class and working class families.
Would there have been a protection for pre-existing conditions or not?
Even the speaker said this on Friday at his press conference. There's money in the bill to set up the high-risk pools. Additional dollars.
But you were taking away that, and you were also taking away that people could have on for the. No, you were taking away the pre-existing conditions, and you were also taking away that people. I mean,
we were taking away those mandates that drove up the cost.
What's good about you're going to take away maternity care? You're going to take away mental health.
What's good about Obamacare, which has driven up the cost of insurance for every single family across the country? What's good about that? That's what we're trying to change. That's what the election about in 2010 was about, Chris. That's what the election in 2014, and in large part, the election on November 8, 2016, was about getting rid of this law that has driven up the cost of insurance for every single working class and middle class family across this country. That's what we're focused on doing. And until you go after those regulations that drive up those costs, you will not solve the problem. This bill didn't do it, and that's why.
But the result is.
That's why only 17% of the country approved of the legislation.
The result is you've still got Obamacare, and the president offered you a huge concession on Thursday on the enhanced health benefits. You wouldn't take it. You refused to vote for the bill, and as a result, you cut the legs out from under President Trump and Paul Ryan on their first legislative initiative.
This is about the American people and what we told them we were going to do. There is no way this legislation was consistent with what the American people sent us here to accomplish. No way it was consistent with what we told them we were going to do. And that's why you saw members oppose it, and that's why the Freedom Caucus opposed it in large part because of that simple fact.
Last question. So what's your play going forward? When it comes to tax reform, when it comes to trade, when it comes to immigration, are you still going to say it's do it our way, or we're not going to vote? And as a result, what happens if the president, as you heard Reince Priebus say, goes for moderate Democrats instead?
Chris, this is real simple. Do it the way we told the American people. This bill didn't do that. So let's do tax reform like we told the American people we were going to. Let's make sure we actually secure the border, build the wall like we told the American people we were going to. Let's focus. We make this job way too complicated. Do what we told the people we were going to do. That's what the Freedom Caucus was created to do, to fight for those simple principles. We're happy to get to yes if it's accomplishing what the American people sent us here to accomplish.
Congressman Jordan, thank you. It's always good to talk with you. I enjoy the back and forth.
Thank you.